What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are with Sean Houchins with socialmediapros.com. How are you doing, Sean?
I am doing well, Austin. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fantastic. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna go over the top 3 ways you can get pressure washing jobs as a beginner for little or no money. So, Sean, we've been talking for a while now. Obviously, you're a website expert. You have a lot of experience with Google Ads. You do have a Facebook ad background as well. Excuse me. What I've been talking about on my channel for a long time is obviously Google My Business, and specifically, your online presence. I preach it every day, and people, they ask me, Austin, how are you getting jobs? You've been in business for this long. How are you getting there? It's like, dude, you got to figure out your online presence. But obviously, for a newcomer, it's easier said than done. So let's go into, some things that people should be focused on when they're a newcomer in this business.
Yeah, I mean, it can be really easy to get caught up in like that shiny object syndrome, especially when you're first getting started. Like, do you try yard signs? Do you do postcard marketing? Do you do door to door? Like, there's lots of things. Obviously, my background primarily is in digital. I try to put out content and provide value around how business owners can really scale and get more leads through digital. But honestly, my number one strategy that I preach to everyone on every call that I take is it's always focusing on the Google business profile, because it's something that a lot of guys can impact very easily. It takes like no money to do. You don't need hardly anything. You don't need a website. You don't even need a Facebook profile. Like, if you're just getting started, like, the Google business profile is without a doubt, in my opinion, one of the best ways to get leads. Like, so just really focusing on that and getting that to rank.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously that's something that's free to do. When you're first getting started in your business, if you're thinking about starting a business, the first thing that you can do, at least that day, is get your Google My Business profile started. It takes about 3 to 5 days. They'll ship you a postcard. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure that's still how they verify. And yeah, I tell people, look, just go out there and do your friends and family, get all pictures and reviews, start loading that baby up. The Google Business profile is like super crucial, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure most people that are interested in any kind of service, like the other day, I was interested in some mobile mechanic work for my work truck. I typed in mobile mechanic, and I kind of scroll. Me personally, I scroll past the Google ads, and I look for the map pack. If you're showing up in the map pack, who's got that Google My Business listing there that has those good reviews? So I think that's something that everyone should be focused on.
And so, yeah, and that's actually a really important statistic. So 44% of all, traffic will go to the local map pack when they're looking for a local service, right? So, obviously, you can run Google ads, but if you don't have the money, you can focus on that Google map pack, and, 44% of traffic's going to land there. But the important thing to really note there, and the question that I get asked all the time, is how do you actually rank up there? Because there's a lot of misconceptions about that. And the 3 things that Google has actually come out and said as to their primary ranking factors is, first and foremost, having the keyword that people are looking for in the name of your business title, right? So your business is a prime example of this done properly, right? So that and pressure washing is super important, because it's also in your Google business profile name. So, if somebody's business name is Pristine Ultra Clean, they're already kind of behind the ball on that. So my suggestion is, if you don't have pressure washing in your name, you don't have to completely redo your business. You can just go in there and add and pressure washing to the end of it. The second thing that really impacts that rank is proximity, right? So I actually just did this test the other day where I typed in pressure washing company near me, and the number 1 company only had 2 Google reviews, but it's because they showed up number 1 because they were only 2 or 3 blocks away from me. Now, obviously, the further that you get out from that business address, you're going to fall further down on that ladder, right? So kind of to your point, my number 1 tip, if you're trying to rank in the Google map pack, is to focus on the reviews. So if that means, doing sidewalks for free, doing work for your friends and family for free, all in exchange for a Google review, if you really put an impact on working for those Google reviews, in 2 months time, you could have 40, 50 Google reviews. And then next thing you know, you're number 1 in your city in the map pack for a 20-mile radius, which is actually an important distinction that you and I have talked about before. Is the Google Map Pack is kind of limited in its ability that it can only reach about 20 miles. But for most of you guys that are just getting started, being number 1 in a 20-mile span is more than enough to give you a ton of work.
The first year for any business, there's not too many magic tricks you can do. The first business is going to be a little bit rougher, but my thing is, the main priority is to boost your Google My Business, and the easiest way you can do that is going out there and getting reviews. And a lot of times when you're first getting started, it's going to take, a customer, just doing some free work, getting all your friends and family. I mean, if your friends and family, love you and support you, they should be able to help you and at least go over there and touch up their stuff. They'll give you reviews. You can load up the pictures. It's an easy way to get your reviews up for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, there's hundreds of things you can do to impact that rank, but at the end of the day, if you just focus on getting more reviews, I promise you're going to rank up in the map pack.
Gotcha. So that kind of goes into our second thing, which is the website. So tell me about, because there's I've seen some Google My Businesses that still kind of rank, but or not, they might not rank, but I've seen them on Google where they don't have a website.
Yeah. So, like, you don't need a website. And that's the great thing about Google My Business is there are limitations to it, but you don't need a website in order to rank in the Google Map Pack. Now, having a website will absolutely help you because, especially, from my personal experience, if I were to look for an HVAC company or something like that, I might interact with a company because they have a decent amount of reviews in the Map Pack, but I want to land on their website and kind of, look around and kind of get a feel for their company and the caliber of company that they are. And the nice thing, nowadays is you can build a pretty decent website for almost nothing on sites like, Squarespace and Wix, and I think Google even has one. And, if you don't have a lot of money, you can absolutely build your own website and it won't cost you anything. Now, is it going to rank organically? No, it's never going to rank organically, but if you're working with a limited budget, obviously that's the goal here is you want to have a website that you can attach to your Google business profile. That way, if somebody types in, pressure washing company or HVAC company or something like that, they see your Google business profile with a decent amount of reviews.
The budget plays a factor, but what should somebody be paying attention to when it comes to building a website, and more specifically, what should someone be looking for if they're looking for someone to hire to build a website for them?
So I think the most important thing that if we're talking about, pressure washing for an example, the most important thing that the website can have is individual service pages as one, right? So like if you offer roof cleaning and house washing and gutter cleaning and paver sealing, there should be individual service pages for those. That's the most important. And that's a big mistake that I see a lot of times is you click the services tab and it takes you to a page and there's like one little blurb and a picture, and they do that for all of the services. And the problem is that Google's never going to rank that specific page for any of those keywords organically. Again, it does well if you're building your own site and you just need something up, but that's just kind of that's kind of my biggest suggestion. And the second one is creating individual location pages, right? So like in your case, we're developing your website and you're located in Austin, but we're going to be launching it with several location pages. And in each of those location pages that they're going to be littered with the keywords, of that suburb or city and pressure washing and for roof cleaning, etc. If that makes sense, right? So like if I were to pay attention to the two most important things, at least from an SEO perspective, it's individual service pages and location pages. Now, for conversions, having lots of call to action buttons, get a quote now, click here to call, all of those things really matter, but, it just kind of depends on what you're focusing on.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, look, I've been in this business for like 4 years, and I know a lot of people that are in the business. One thing that's a huge struggle is figuring out the online game. It's like a huge puzzle that it's hard for some people to solve. And there's a lot of companies out there that have a lot of money that can use money to solve it. But for the most of us, like my story is like I went through like 3 or 4 website people through my first 2 years, wasting a bunch of money and giving people a shot. I'm not going to throw out any names out there, but if you've been watching my channel for any long period of time, you guys know the names I'm referring to. It just seems like they're just taking your money, and it's almost like they're just clockwork. It's like they're ripping your card at the first of the month, and they're almost just like hosting it. Like they're not proactively doing anything. And when people tell me that, it's just like, look, it's like, whoever I'm speaking with, if you're going to pay $175 a month, what kind of product or service do you think you're getting for $175 a month? Some of these things, when it comes to bringing in loads of leads and customers and revenue into your business, these are not $175 a month services, but I totally understand, someone just getting started, limited funds. I mean, I didn't have the money when I started either. So,
and I think that's an important thing to note, right? Because obviously all of our clients, like we're their like third or fourth company they've worked with, but like when you're a newer company, as much as I don't want to promote the other guys, at the end of the day, there are companies out there that will design a website for $100 a month or $150 a month. And those websites they do their job for a new business, right? They give you something to put on your Google business profile. They give you something to put on a business card that looks halfway decent. So it does that job, but those companies, you're never going to rank with those companies, right? So they serve their purpose, right, for newer business owners. But obviously when you become more tenured and you want your website to organically rank and start delivering leads and those sorts of things, that's where those companies fall short, right? But again, there's nothing wrong with them. You know, you're not the only company that's gone through 2 or 3 different companies. All of our clients have been through 2 or 3 different companies because, again, they serve their purpose for where they are for those businesses. Like to that point, right? Like when your first 6 months or first year in business, there's one of two things that are going to happen. You're either going to trade a lot of money, right, to accelerate that time, or you're going to trade a lot of your personal time to kind of accelerate those leads, right? Like if you don't have a lot of money, focusing on your Google business profile, you know, building a simple website, or, you know, finding a company that can build you a super cheap website, and, you know, leveraging local Facebook groups, which, you know, I think we're getting ready to kind of get into. Obviously, if you have the money, you can spend money in Google ads, you can spend money in Facebook ads, you can spend money to hire a company like mine to come in and do SEO and build a really nice website. Like, obviously, if you have that kind of money, you can accelerate that process. But if you're, you know, new with not a lot of money and you're trying to be scrappy, like, you know, some of those things aren't going to work. So focusing on your Google business profile, getting some kind of website attached to your Google business profile, and, you know, and then the third thing is really, you know, and we're getting ready to get into it, is really leveraging local Facebook groups. And I see a lot of people do this wrong all the time, and, you know, that's why I was like, hey, I really want to touch on this, because local Facebook groups are an absolute gold mine for leads if you leverage them properly. That is, and like I just told you, like, I just recorded a video on this topic. The most important thing that you can do in these local Facebook groups is educate and provide value, right? Like that's my perspective, because I can't tell you how many times I see, at least groups in my area, they'll throw up a graphic and they'll say 20% off new homeowners, and then you look, and over the past 24 hours it's had like 1 like, right? Nobody's commenting on it, nobody's seeing it. And I think if you change your thought process on this, these homeowner groups who are spending time in these local Facebook groups, they're there because they kind of want to, they want to learn more, they want to consume more. And so if I'm a pressure washing business and I want to leverage local Facebook groups and get the most value out of it, I'm posting to several local Facebook groups every single day. And again, this is if you're a new business owner. If you're tenured and you're busy, that's different. But if you're new, I'm posting every single day, and I'm posting more educational style of content, right? Like maybe I'm taking a picture of my rig and I'm saying, hey, I'm in this neighborhood today doing a house wash, or hey, look at this driveway, it was super dirty, this is how we treated it, right? Homeowners will gobble that stuff up. Like they want to learn more. Like, sure, if you start talking about SH and using, you know, F9 bark and stuff like that, some homeowners are going to take that and they're going to try and use it themselves on their own homes, and that's fine. But the majority, when you start posting that kind of content, right, when you're talking about SH and surface cleaners, downstream injecting, you're educating the homeowners in those local Facebook groups. Who's the most authoritative company that they're going to call when they need those services? The guy who is always talking about that, right? Like, because you've presented yourself as like not this guy who just like has a pressure washer and is just kind of doing this on the side. That's my perspective, anyways.
With the groups, like I just posted a video yesterday of me helping one of my local friend in the business, but he's in my Facebook group as well. He's local, and he was telling me he is incredibly busy because the first thing when he gets to a house is whenever he gets done, he always throws in something for free. He always throws in something for free at the end. But then he's always like, "Hey, look, if you, I'd love for you to help me out. If you can just post some pictures and in your local neighborhood groups or in your next door, that would just help me out tons." And he tells me like, "Austin, dude, I swear, like my phone rings off the hook with just referrals." I'm like, "How do you mean referrals?" Like it's good if you post in these groups, but it's even better if you get someone else to post in these groups. Like that's gold right there.
Yeah, that is the most valuable thing that you can get, is that social proof. Because like you're right? Like you can post a picture and talk about your business, but it's just another company selling. But yeah, you throw in a free sidewalk or a small discount, all in exchange for them to take a picture of your rig or you working and just like give you a compliment in a Facebook group. Tons of people are going to, comment and say, who was that? Like, all of those things. The social proof is the money, right? That's why the Google Google reviews work so well is because, are you going to call the company that's got 2 Google reviews or the company that's got 40 Google reviews? The social proof is there. Those homeowners went and left a review and they vouched for it. So that's my thought process. So like, if I'm a new business owner and I don't have a lot of money to spend, like, I'm focusing on getting more reviews to rank up in Google Business. I'm really focusing on getting a website no matter what. If I have the money, I'm spending it and then getting a really nice website. Worst case scenario, I'm building it myself or to some degree, but attaching some kind of website to the Google Business profile, I think is super key. And then really hitting the local Facebook groups. I think if I'm a new pressure washing business or any business for that matter, and I'm leveraging those 3 things like my life depended on it, I really think in the first 6 months of business, it's going to make that lead flow significantly easier.
Yeah, well said. So that conclude this call for today. I want to thank Sean Houchins for hopping on this call. He's with socialmediapros.com. His information is going to be down in the description. His Calendly link will be down there as well. So if you want to book a call with him, you guys can do that. Also, if you want to shoot him a message in my Facebook group, I'm sure he's open to take messages. No problem at all. Any closing thoughts, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, if you're new and getting started, or anybody for that matter, and you guys have any marketing related questions, feel free. You can book a call with me. You can message me on Facebook. Even if it's just to pick my brain about ways to do things, maybe ways to name your business, whatever the case may be. Like, I try to be an open book, and I try to help people the best that I can.
So there you have it, guys. That is the 3 best ways any newcomer into the pressure washing business can boost their business, get leads for little to no money.